fashion of NABJ. That's definitely a story.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this year I have to step up my game.
Yeah. Hopefully you can get your paycheck first.
Man, if my university would just, get on their Zoom and,
Yeah.
please, like that's a whole nother, show. Talking about some of the harsh realities of being at HBCU. That's one.
Shoot, A'Lauren needs to hurry up, get her money so she could go to the club and make it rain.
Come on. You're done.
A'Lauren makes it rain. She doesn't make it sprinkle. She makes it rain. What is going on, everybody? Welcome into Did You Hear That with Shimei and A'Lauren, episode 5. Can you believe it? We made it into 5 episodes. It's kind of crazy.
One day it'll be 500.
One day. One day. That's 500 weeks, but we'll make it there. We'll make it there. We'll make it there. How have you been, A'Lauren?
I've been pretty good. I started my internship this week.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I just kind of feel like there's been a lot of bad things, as you know, Shamai, but I feel like life is kind of taking a turn for the better. A lot of change, a lot of professional growth, which is really exciting.
How has life been recently?
Life recently has been a lot. I would say adulting is hard. I think
Who you telling?
I'm finally starting to feel it. Like adulting is hard. Solving issues on your own is hard. Um, Showing up every day sometimes is hard. So life hasn't been bad per se, but some days are just hard.
Well, keep going. That's all I have to say. Let's keep going. That's all that matters. Um, with me, I've been busy. I've been traveling. Just got off traveling. Um,
It's been busy.
I was in Baltimore for about a few days. Then I went to New York for the weekend. Now I'm just getting settled in back home. I really had a great week. I was invited to the headquarters of Under Armour. Um,
Oh, I see.
oh yeah, this is what they gave me. This is what they gave me. Yeah, this is pretty dope. It was really cool seeing like Under Armour, like to know their history and their values. You understand, like it's just when people think of a brand, they just think of the name, they just think of like what they sell, their products and all that stuff. But actually seeing like what that brand represents and then like their values and their goals, I definitely respect Under Armour much more. And I was great. I was graded. I was had the opportunity to have do a case study with some of my teammates from other HBCUs. We came in second place in the
Hey,
case study competition. We each of us would get a 2,500 scholarship.
wow.
Yeah, $2,500 scholarship. So that's good. And the winning team gets 10K scholarship. We would have won first place, but one of our pitchers, like they were confused about that. And like even during when we were preparing, we were going to use that original pitcher that we thought that would have won made us win that 10K, but it is what it is. It was really cool. I was the only one from my school there. I saw people from Morgan, people from Jackson State, people from Texas Southern. Who else was there? A lot of Hampton people were there. A lot of Hampton people were there. Yeah. And you probably never heard of this school. It's called Bluefield State. They're in my conference in the CIAA. Yeah,
Yes.
they call it the PWI of HBCUs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the person who was there, he was really cool. But yeah, it was a lot of Hampton people. Yeah, a lot of Hampton people. They're really serious about them being the real HU allegedly. So
Hampton has a lot going on right
yeah, I heard about that.
now. A lot. Um,
Uh,
that's the same for my internship. There's about 4 people there from Hampton.
yeah, Hampton, they're like roaches. They spread It's hard to get rid of them.
Come on.
Howard is like that too. When it comes to HBCUs, at that I would say,
Howard is
yeah, A&T is like that too.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not shade. I'm just using the analogy. I love all HBCUs. Um, there was some people from Winston Salem there. Winston Salem State. I'm trying to think of some other people. Winston Salem State. Some other no, Virginia State, Virginia Union,
Mm.
Lincoln. I think that's pretty much it. I think I'm hope if I'm forgetting the school, please forgive me. They're watching the show. We have new viewers because of this. So I put them onto the podcast. So say hello to everybody. They're definitely tuning in. Because they were asking me, because my group, because we had to prepare a case study, and I take this very seriously. So I was like, well, just give me an hour because we were going to plan. Me and Lauren had a set time where we were going to plan last week, and I was like, okay, you guys give me an hour. I got to take my podcast and I had to explain everything. And they followed and all that jazz. So now we have new viewers and new listeners.
Good. Hi,
So,
everybody.
but yeah, so they know I have a podcast and all that jazz. And yeah, so they watch us. Did you hear that? Viewers. We gotta figure out what would we call our supporters. Hair Nation or
Yeah.
nah, that's something we gotta work on behind the scenes. But we digress. But no, that was Baltimore. I was there from Tuesday to Thursday, and then Thursday afternoon, I took a train in New York. And I was there for about 2 days, from Thursday evening to Saturday afternoon. I went to this. It was a journalism, a student journalism conference at the New School. It was it was posted by The Nation. It's a nonprofit newspaper organization, all that stuff. I was glad to be admitted and be there. There was a lot of people there, a lot of newspaper background, writing background. Um, yeah, so it was a good so it wasn't I got a little taste of how the business looks like when it comes to, peers and what to prepare for. It wasn't just like an HBCU thing. It was like anybody was admitted, people from there from Yale, people were there from UNC Chapel Hill, um, Florida State. It was like big schools and all that stuff. So it was in the heart of New York. It was downtown Manhattan. And it was pretty dope. It was an all-day conference. We were very well fed. And yeah, shout out to the nation. It was really cool people there. And then after that, I had to rush off to go to the Schubert Theater to go see Alicia Keys's Broadway show called Hell's Kitchen. When I tell you that amazing, it's amazing. If you ever get a chance to go to New York, you gotta go see Hell's Kitchen. I posted, that I was there. They commented under my post. They did their Instagram. They commented under my post with a fire emoji. I really enjoyed the show. It's not a family show. I was want to warn people. Some swearing and stuff. So do not bring if you're. I will say it's probably PG 13. Probably, yeah, PG 13, 14. Yeah. So, but it's a great show. It's a great story. It's about Alicia Keys's life and her relationship with her mom and father and growing up in New York. It's called Hell's Kitchen because Hell's Kitchen is a neighborhood in New York. People think Hell's Kitchen, they think of Gordon Ramsay, the show on Fox, all that stuff. No, it's actually a neighborhood in New York. It's right outside of Times Square, not too far. Me being a journalist, I wanted to go to where Hell's Kitchen is. It's a beautiful town, part of the city, and it's a really nice city. So the show was great. Tank is there. Tank, or the R&B artist Tank, he plays Alicia Keys' father. Yeah, he was there. What else? Yeah, it was a really great show. it was a really great show. I think it was like 2 hours and 35 minutes. It was an intermission, of course. I didn't buy anything because New York is too expensive, but it was still worth it. My ticket, I got it probably last minute. It was like about $73.
Hmm.
No, $103. But I still got a good seat. It was like I was right on the second level. There's a lower level, second level, and then the balcony. I was on a lower level. So that was good. I went by myself. And then after that, I had a rush to go see Lester Holt do his last show in New York. Lauren was very jealous because I just wanted to rub it in Lauren's face.
I'm very jealous of that.
Huh?
I love
I
Lester.
know. I love Lester. So yeah, we saw him right out of 30 Rock in Rockefeller, Studio 1A. It was really cool to see him. He waved at us. Took a BA. It was really bittersweet for him, I bet. But it was really dope to see that in New York. What else? There's some other things. Oh, what's so crazy? The day that I got there, the Knicks won. So I was like rushing through the city trying to beat, I got there around the third quarter. So I was like, thank God. And I was watching the game as I was going through I was like, please, please, let me beat this. I got it. I beat when they won. Once I got to the room, the game was over. I was like, thank God I could go back. I could go to where that was my housing accommodation. But yeah, and then Saturday morning, I went to the Today Show, the Weekend Today with Peter Alexander. Uh, it was Joe Fryer and Laura Jarrett. It was really, really cool. They came out, took a picture with me and the rest of the audience outside. I gave everybody my business card. You got a network. That's the power of a net. And you know what Peter said? He said, "You look like you could be one of us." That's what he said. I was like, "Well, one day,
Mhm.
hopefully I'll be, in that seat with you." And he gave me some good advice and all that stuff. I love that. Those you could tell that those type of people appreciate their jobs and wants to give back. So stuff like that. And then well, you've been in a club or two. You know where I see how people like have the like put a sign or
Yeah.
so I did like Future Today anchor and they fade they it's not you can't really see it on YouTube, but at the end of the show they shot to the audience and like did it to me. Yeah.
Oh, shy.
Yeah. So it was really cool. That's why they came out and all that stuff. So really, really cool. Yeah. New York. And then I left. I went to Queens. So okay. Harlem. Let me explain how New York is. Harlem. Okay, Harlem is the black part of the city.
Mhm.
Queens, Latino, it's a little mixture. It's a little mixture. In the Bronx, it's like that too. A little mixture. Okay. Then Brooklyn's a lot of Muslim people, Jewish people, Indian people. That's Brooklyn for you. And the black people too. And then the city is just rich people, business people. A lot is a mixture in Manhattan area. But when I went to Harlem, I went to Melba's Kitchen. I don't know if you ever heard of Melba's Kitchen. It's like they call it American Comfort. It's amazing. I had oxtail. We could do it before and after. I literally took a picture. You saw my story. I'm a foodie. Lauren can attest to this. I'm a proud big bag. So I'm a really proud big bag. I got me some oxtail, mac and cheese, and the ASAP yams. They're called the ASAP yams. And it was good. I ate it in probably like 10 minutes. And I wasn't even I didn't hear that. I didn't even in 10 minutes. I was like, well, yep. I was probably wasn't even there for like 20 minutes. I was the first customer there. I was like, I would because they opened up at 11. So after the Today Show, I went right there. It's about a half hour train ride. But yeah, I felt like a real New Yorker.
Period.
A real New Yorker.
You seem like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I rode the bikes. I got a Metro card. Where's my phone? My Metro. I still think I still have my Metro card. Is this it? No. Where's my MetroCard? It's right here. MetroCard.
There is.
So, and there's still money on here. So I'm definitely going back to New York soon. It's my favorite city in the world. Favorite city in the world. I didn't see no rats this time though. I was very happy. I was very happy because the last summer I went to New York, I saw a whole hurdle of rats.
A hurdle of rats is
Yeah, I think A'Lauren, she probably was scared. She would have ran off. But it was cool. New York is cool. I definitely would. Every chance I would get to go to New York, I would never turn it down. So yeah, but how? So speaking of opportunities, today's episode is definitely about taking those opportunities in college with internships and uh professional development and career readiness. What? Okay, so I would say, let me ask Lauren this. Lauren, what are some tips or things that you have done to help you prepare for like professional development or opportunities that you have taken a part of that has helped you prepare for post grad?
well, okay. So this is gonna sound sponsored, but for me as a journalist, joining the chapter, the Norfolk State chapter of the National Association of Black Journalists was my first step. So whether you're in business, whether you're in engineering, whether you're in whatever major you are, nursing, it can be anything. There is some sort of professional organization or chapter on your campus. And I feel like that's the first step into figuring out what you should do in your professional workplace. Because for journalists, things are different than for a nurse or for an attorney. And I will say the first step is actually joining some sort of professional organization. Of course, your university has like the career services department that can help you with clothing or your resume and just the industry standard of professionalism. But for every career, it's kind of different. And I feel like joining my NEBJ chapter, then joining my local for like Virginia chapter where all
Mhm.
of the media professionals are in.
Your market, your
Yeah,
market. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, I've grown so much. And one thing I love looking back on, because my mentor, April Woodard, she was actually she was my professor my freshman year. She's on daytime TV every day, and I still work with her to this day. You know, having an actual mentor that's in your profession can really, really kind of mold you and grow you. When I first came to Norfolk State, I wore a lot of colorful makeup. I, like, I don't know if Shemai, you may or may not know this, but like, the 2016 beat. That,
Oh, I think I know. I think going through. Cause remember last time? Well, I think a few weeks ago, we were trying to mention your hair.
yeah,
Trying to find a good picture of you. I did see a little color, but you pulled it off. It was really nice. You pulled it
um,
off.
lots of like, for the girls listening, like 2016 makeup, like cut crease eyeshadow. It's very colorful every
The
day.
blush. Yeah, like yeah.
Just a lot, and it was cute. But moving into a professional setting, my mentor kind of told me to like tone it down a little bit. That of course, every day for TV you have to wear makeup, but it's different than fashion runway makeup, if that makes sense. And that may sound
Yeah.
stupid or small, but that's really kind of changed my trajectory as a professional. Like looking back to then to now and kind of seeing how I've changed. That's one of the biggest things I see right off the bat. Just appearance. Um, I have a cousin who's a nurse, and she's talked about how in her training they tell you can't have the nails or you can't have certain things on your face or your hair, things like that. So I think the first two major steps anyone should do for professional development in college is join whatever professional organization you have on campus that's specific to your major, and then find a mentor that's actually doing what you want to do.
Mm. I concur with you saying, but also you can't depend on all those things. You have to do the work as well.
Yeah.
those things can enhance your work, but you can't just rely on those organizations, or that can't be like your fallback. If you just like, oh, I went to class, I did a couple, things, and I'm in this organization. This is supposed to be like I did all these things. I'm involved in newspaper. I'm involved in radio. I'm involved in television. And I happen to be involved in NABJ. So that's supposed to be like, that can't be your it all be all. So those things are supposed to enhance or help you get to the next level. Those can't be your main things. I want to make sure people are aware of that. Um, and then another thing, I definitely concur when you talk about your parents. Investing in yourself is very, very important, I will say. I remember even before I got into college, my mom was like, don't try to, if everybody be different, it's good to be different. If everybody's wearing Nike, wear Pumas. If everybody's wearing pink, wear black. So I've always been like, that's been ingrained in my mind, like, okay, I don't want to be like everybody else. So that's why I really wore suits all the time, because everybody was into like wearing joggers and Jordans, all that stuff. And in that 2014-16 era, like, that was the guy version of like, everybody wanted to wear those type of things. Yeah, right. The joggers and what's Kevin, the KDs, all that stuff. So yeah, I wasn't really like that. I really wanted to, wear tie. I was into like fashion, like that type of thing. So I wore, suits and stuff, and that's how I think that's really has helped me stand out in a good way and get prepare me to have other opportunities, and put me in rooms where if I was just like everybody else, probably wouldn't have been. You
Yeah,
understand? So yeah, go ahead.
I agree. One thing for any incoming freshman, I will say, is that you need to have some sort of professional attire when you come to school.
Yes.
It's crazy because as a student leader, I've helped almost 2.5 years now with bringing in incoming freshmen for, their welcome week. And there are a few events they have to go to that requires professional attire. And you will be so surprised to see how many people show up not in professional attire or saying, "Oh, I left my black dress or black suit at home." And it's kind of like a lot of people come to college and not think at all about the professional space, which is kind of weird because I don't know if it was just my parents on me so bad. They're like, you're going to school to go to school, you got to prepare for your career. But a lot of people, when coming to college, they literally forget that, like you said, Shamai, there are so many rooms that you can be in, and that looking the part is honestly the first step sometimes in getting you the opportunity.
Especially when you're black. And here's why I say this. I say this because at the conference that I was mentioning earlier that I was at, there was a black lady who was um, on the panel, and she's a professor, and she's also works in television and in podcasting. And she was like, one thing that I asked her for advice about people who want to get in television. She said, always be on time, be nice to everybody, and always dress the part.
Mhm.
Always dress the part, because they're going to remember, oh, he's ready to go. They take you more seriously. People forget that, when it comes to corporate America, and us being, black, we have to work 10 times as harder as our white counterparts, especially for black women as well. I bring that up because black women especially, have to deal with more. They have to deal with, their hair. They have to deal with, like you said, makeup. They can't be a big distraction because they don't want to offend anybody. That's what happens in corporate America, and there's things that we have to adjust by. We have to rules that we have to abide by. But even with that, there's a thing that your presence and your appearance is very important, because why would somebody hire you if you don't care, or hire you or invest in you if you don't care how you look, or present it to them? Why would somebody do that? Just think about that. So that's a good point that you bring up, because when it comes to corporate America and professional settings, your appearance, doesn't matter what field you're in,
Yeah.
matters.
Exactly. And sometimes, Shemai, like you mentioned on this trip, and even me at the short course, and in my internship right now, sometimes you're the only person from your university in certain rooms.
Yeah,
And so if you show up looking a mess, people are gonna automatically assume that your school is some sort.
horrible. Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's why everywhere I go, I don't care if I'm overdressed. I see. So this is a white man told me this when the communications director over the Charlotte Horns. He said it's better that you're overdressed than underdressed.
Yeah,
It's better that you're. It's better that you're overdressed than underdressed because if you're underdressed, it's kind of like oh. But if you're overdressed, it's probably uncomfortable, but at the same time, you probably get more attention.
exactly.
Yeah, but go ahead.
And honestly, I have another friend in the industry. His name is JJ Mayo, and he oftentimes talks about how even on college campuses, especially HBCUs, you never know who you'll run into during the day.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like being in media, sometimes it's even worse because you never know who you'll be thrown to interview. You never know who you're gonna see or want to take a picture with, XYZ, whatever. Um, you should not be going to class every single day looking like you just rolled out the bed. And I know this causes a lot of controversy, um, but it's just the simple truth. A lot of people don't understand how first impressions really matter. And Shamai, as you said, with the suits. So I am now an intern at Wavy TV 10. And one of the executives there I met my freshman year at a career fair. When I went on my orientation last week, she basically talked about how she remembered me because
Wow.
during that career fair, I was wearing a pink suit. Yes,
Is that bad or good?
it was good. She was good.
Okay, okay, okay.
Like she was like, you were dressed so professional, and you were just a freshman. I thought that you were, a graduating senior, and that's at the time. Well, of course, we can't offer you a job because you're, a freshman. But things like that, that's standing out in a good way, being overdressed for the occasion, rather than showing up at like you just rolled out the bed. Because I know at HBCUs,
Very
especially,
popular.
yeah, it's very popular to come outside with a do-rag or a bonnet or sweats and slippers all the time. But just imagine if I had met that woman, looking disheveled and having the nerve to inquire about an internship or a job, and then years later down the line, meeting her again.
Because
That
people remember that.
exactly
People remember that.
people
People
remember
might not remember your name, but they remember how your appearance are.
exactly. Exactly. So, I would say another step, like you said, Shemai, investing in yourself. If you can buy party clothes, if you
If you
can,
could buy tickets,
yes, if you can,
if you could buy alcohol,
exactly,
you could buy that. Yeah.
you can buy a dress or a suit from time to time.
And the thing is, people think I have all these suits, I spend all this money. I don't gatekeep when something like this. Go to Goodwill. Go to say like, but go into like the more not urban communities. Go to the more, people who have a little bit more money in their pockets and they don't want it's in their eyes it's out of style, but in somebody else's eyes that look like me and you, this stuff don't go out of style. I'm telling you, I went to a Goodwill. And I got a whole Ralph Lauren suit for $30. Yes, $30. That's the pants and the suit. I mean, the pants and the jacket. So it's you don't even have to break the bank. And there's places like Sheen, there's places like, TikTok Shop. Like, it's just like, it's no excuse, in my opinion. There's really no excuse.
Especially when campuses like mine have a free
Oh
clothes.
yes, and it's the business class. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Well, I just forgot about that. I did a story. It's so funny. I did a story about that for my campus. But yes, exactly. And just that. Oh, trust me. If I had that moth blazer that you like, everybody loved that one. I'm wearing that at NBJ. I got that for free. For my business closet, my
Exactly.
school. Yes.
So there's options to look your best. And honestly, once you start investing in yourself, you'll feel better too.
Mm-hmm.
You'll feel so much better. And I feel like more opportunities will come your way because, like you said, Shemai, people notice this, and
Mm.
especially the older people, the executives of companies and organizations, they notice that whether they tell you or not.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about, external opportunities. So I feel like, especially like with scholarships and internships, I think you should apply this stuff. If you want to get into an industry, you gotta get experience. You gotta go get the outside external experiences. You should be applying for like, and then you need money too to pay for these experiences as well. Um, I will say this is what I think my mom told me this. You should be applying for scholarships like it's a part-time job.
Mhm.
Is no, I'll probably take an hour. No, I think I'm gonna take an hour to apply for scholarships, but it turns into 5 hours. When I see something, I gotta apply right then and there because that's how my mind works. I gotta do that right then and there. Um, I would say look into like if you want to work for, say, if you're a nurse and you want to work for the hospital, or you want to work for a group home or something like that. I would say look at that company that owns it, look at their career website, whatever, and see that do they offer any internships or anything. Like I would say like getting actual experiences is very important for post graduation. Go ahead, Lauren.
Yeah, Shema, I agree. I think applying early for internships, because a lot of people are saying it's only juniors and seniors that can get internships. Now, on some higher level things, yes, but as a freshman and sophomore, you can definitely intern at places, especially locally or for
True.
nonprofits. I definitely um, had a few opportunities to intern at places, which actually taught me that I don't want to do XYZ every day of my life. Or I prefer this type of media over that type of media.
That's the point of an internship to see if you want the career. That's the point. That's the real point of an internship.
I think there's nothing worse than somebody getting hired for a job and not really knowing what that job entails. I did a corporate communications internship last summer, and I honestly didn't like it. I wasn't enjoying myself. I could do the work to get by 9 to 5 if I had to, straight out of college. But I've, I'm like, I don't ever see myself in the future ever doing that. So
Corporate is so boring.
it
No
is.
offense to anybody who does corporate, like, 'cause we do need those people, but like, it's just like you're behind a desk. I kind of had that same experience in a way when I did my internship at Duke Alumni Magazine last summer, and it wasn't really a newsroom. It was like a group of 4 people, 5 people in the like, but they were all in like cubicle desk. And like it wasn't the experience that I really wanted. It was really corporate. So like I still got the experience. I still got the experiences that I needed. Writing, articles and scheduling interviews and all that stuff. That's what I really wanted. But like I wanted the rush of like breaking news. I wanted the rush of like, oh, we gotta go this, we gotta go here. Like I wanted that. It was really like laid back, lackadaisical, but not like we still with deadlines, but it was like you're on your own pace. Like if you need anything, just let us know. I I enjoyed it, but it's not what I wanted. You understand? But I feel like I needed. So I totally concur. Like corporate stuff, like, but that's the point of internships, though. That's the
And
point of internships. Go ahead.
for some people I know, they love that. And they've done a newsroom internship. Like I had a friend, she went to University of Mizzou for their newsroom internship
Mm-hmm.
summer. And she came back for her senior year and she was like, that internship taught me I don't want to be in a newsroom environment. I don't want the fast paced deadlines. It's too much stress. Um, and so that kind of changed her whole trajectory of what she wanted to do after she graduates. So anybody who's listening, whatever field that you want to go into, you definitely need to intern.
Mm,
and try as many experiences as possible so you can kind of pinpoint where you want to go after graduation.
yeah.
Shemai, I think we should switch gears a little bit. I know we're talking about internships and opportunities. Can you kind of describe or talk about your first conference experience and what type of conferences have you been to? What types of conferences do you think students should apply for? And why should most students take advantage of university sponsored or paid for conference trips?
Conferences. Um, let's see. I've been to probably two or three conferences in my collegiate career. Probably, yeah. I've been to the recently the where we met the short course, NBJ short course. That was like wasn't a conference, it was like a workshop type thing. That was my first like real experience thing that like I think it's the closest thing I had to an internship of like how the news industry is. So I had that. NABJ meetings like in the market that I was when I was at North Carolina Central, like going to newsrooms across our market, I had the opportunity to do that. Um, but recently, I will say it would probably will be the one that I went to recently last week, the student journalism conference that I went to, sponsored by the nation. It wasn't like what I expected, but I think it was good information that I needed, going into the industry. It was really focused on like newspaper background and writing, like print stuff. That's not really things that I'm really into. Oh, okay, thank you. Ding ding ding. Last summer I was a part of the inaugural. It was it was called the NYU Black Male Workshop. I went there. I was part of like me and other, I think 15 other guys or 20 other guys, 19 other guys, um, from all sports. I mean, all backgrounds of colleges. So it wasn't just HBCUs, but there were people of, it was people of color, men of color, who are pursuing journalism careers. I think that I was a week in New York at NYU's campus, and we got experiences going to Times Square. I mean, yeah, Times Square where Paramount is. We went to the New York Times, and we went to WCBS, where the CBS affiliate is in New York. What else? We went to CNN. So we got like different perspectives of like different industries. So it wasn't just all no, we catered to everybody. So the New York Times were for print people, for broadcast people, we went to CNN and we went to CBS, too, WCBS. I have had experiences where like I have got the chance to network with people, other like my peers and other professionals as well. Um, so yeah, I think go I would say research stuff that you're really into. In LinkedIn, you got to stay connected. That's why a lot of opportunities come through LinkedIn and follow like these corporate people. Like follow these like if you like a lot of these corporate people and like professionals post opportunities for students. So that's how I found out. And stay connected with people that you like that you want to work like people that you want to work with or work like professionals that you want to be in the same shoes as they are. Because how I heard about that NYU thing. So when I used to live in Connecticut, there was the one of the old anchors. Her name was Leslie Mays. She was an anchor there, and that was her husband is a Kappa. He's a Noop. He was the pro mark of the alumni chapter of the Kappa League that I was a part of. Um, and I did Kappa League TV. So
Mhm.
she remembered that. Oh, and I interviewed her for our program for our show, and she remembered. Okay, this dude, this this student wants to go into journalism and all that stuff. So she used to like send me stuff, and she sent me this opportunity. So it was like stuff like that, and I got admitted. So stuff like that, you know, can really jumpstart your career opportunities that you really need. Like, cause you can't see everything, you know, like everything, like it could be on social media, but you don't see it. Like, or it'd be too late, and it's like, oh, I wish I applied. So, like, you know, stay connected with people because those people might know somebody who has an opportunity. So, I would say, opportunities wise, I all try when it's an opportunity if you can see if it's all expenses paid. Most of the time, they are. Most of the time, these people pay for your travel, have housing accommodations, and all that stuff. Oh, CIAA. I went. Yeah, thank you. Now my mind is going. CIAA. I went to the our tournament, our in my conference, in my school's conference, Able State. We're a part of the CIAA, and we have a. It's not just a basketball tournament, but we have a career fair. That's how I found out. That's how I found out about Under Armour or the Under Armour. Yeah, so it's like stuff like that could create opportunities. They didn't really have new stuff there, but it was skills. People think it's the bigger picture. You gotta
Mm-hmm.
think about the smaller things. Like this Under Armour thing could help me with pitching stuff. That's how I thought about it because when I researched the event, don't just apply for stuff because you don't set yourself up for failure. Okay, so I when I was researching the event in the program, the combine, it's called the HBCU combine. Um, I saw that it was a kind of like a case study pitch thing. So maybe if this is how I thought about it. This opportunity could help me get better with pitching stories that I want to when I get into the newsroom. So it's stuff like that. It's not just about the actual event, the whole picture. It's about the skills that you're going to learn to help you pursue your career. So look at like conferences or like workshops that can help you build your skills on things that can help you in your career in the long run. Go ahead, Lauren.
Yeah, I agree. That kind of touches about my experience at the Thurgood Marshall Leadership Institute.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because it was very much centered on building leadership skills, building corporate skills, communication, pitching ideas, problem solving. They had a huge career fair that, like you said, Shamar, it didn't really cater to news. Um,
Yeah,
but the overall experience through the different sessions I went through definitely grew me as a professional. And
yeah,
I feel like that's what's actually sometimes more important because if you're lacking certain, I guess they call it soft skills or professional skills, you can't thrive in any career or any corporate space. Um, I know they have DevCon for like underclassmen and TMC,
yeah. That's for freshmen and sophomores. Yeah, development. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and then for junior, senior, sometimes grad students they have TMCF, which I'm hoping to go back to. I love it.
Yeah, and also I recently got the email about I got to upload for my yard ambassador. So
Same,
I'm just
same.
I got it when I was in Baltimore. I was like, okay, I gotta do that when I get back home. All right, continue.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. But yeah, that's a really good example of how like this wasn't just journalism or ABJ or
Yeah.
what I love. This was just a professional development opportunity. And I feel like if more people applied for things like that, because like you said, Shemai, this is all expenses paid. So you
Yes.
for
When you in college, when you see the thing free, you
yeah.
better take care of it. I was just talking about that. That's why I was a little late for our session today. There was a Chipotle that just opened near my house.
Mhm.
Yeah, not free food, right? I was telling my sister who was about to go to college. I was like, when you go to college, if it's something that says free, you better go
Go. Yeah, just
because that college student you can only have it for so long.
exactly
So when it's free,
free.
go,
Yeah,
go,
really
because
literally.
it doesn't matter if it helps you or not. It's well, I take that back, but you still can take something. It's not the big picture. I think that's what people fail to realize. Like like even with DevCon, I'm not DevCon with like the leadership conference. People don't think like, I don't want to be a leader. I don't want to be in corporate. It's the skills that I don't want to be a CEO.
Me
But
neither.
I could learn. I
Exactly.
want to learn from a Mark Zuckerberg, or I
Yeah.
would want to learn from a Mark Cuban, like skills that stuff. Because in the end, like I was saying, pitching, you're gonna need to learn how to, or advocating, you're gonna
Exactly.
have to, or negotiating. You're gonna need to go no, negotiate your contract, or that stuff like that. Those are skills you're gonna need to learn when you get into your career. No matter what you is, you're gonna have to negotiate your contract with your
Exactly.
boss or your pay. You're gonna have to pitch. Oh, maybe we should do something like this. Doesn't matter where you are. It's about skills. It's not about the bigger picture. It's about the skills.
Yeah, it's about the skills. And like you mentioned, Shamai, with networking, places like
Yes,
that have so many people that you just network with one person. You you don't know who you'll meet down the line. Um,
exactly.
I networked with someone at TMCF that sent my resume to somebody in the NBA, and I was able to do an HBCU live stream with the NBA.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Yes.
And that was through me just networking at TMCF months and months ago. Somebody thought of me and just said, hey, she would be good for this speaking opportunity. And
Yeah.
you just never know, the power of networking.
It's not about, and people forget it's not about what you can have all these degrees and
Yeah,
you know nobody, but it's about who you know.
who and you don't have to be Greek to network. You don't have to
That's a
be
little shit. That was Shay. I love it though. I love that.
because a lot of people think, oh, I can only network if I'm Greek. I can only network
Not
if
really. It's
I'm
really not.
popular, you
Mm,
know, or if I'm a part of this group or I'm part of this or part of that. All it takes is you just saying hello, shaking your hand, get to know you. Can I have your LinkedIn? Can I have your Instagram?
mhm.
And a lot of people nowadays don't like talking face to face.
That's why it's that pre-COVID thing. It's that COVID people. People are so used to people rather than text talk to you on this,
Yeah.
right? Than talk to you like right here. I'd rather talk to somebody in person.
And
That,
and
that,
that's
yeah, go ahead.
and that's one thing I will say to everybody who's listening. Don't show up to any conference, any internship and and not talk. You have to talk to people, and this is like literally like the prime time to do it. I love the NABJ convention, and Shamai, I can't wait for you to go this year.
Cleveland, we're gonna do karaoke.
Yes,
If I
because
have time, because I heard the multimedia project is hectic, but I might have to cut my hair because I'm balding. But we digress.
places like that, like I just remember just talking to people, hi, hello, or just sitting at different tables, mixing and mingling with people. Oh, I work at ESPN. Oh, I write for this paper. Oh, I do podcasts. Just by just talking to people, saying hello. Oh, I'm the dean of this college. Can you come to my master's program? Like just
Oh
talking.
shoot! I need to do that this year. And
Like
shoot,
yeah, like because I mean they have this because I know for the engineers it's like NESB. They have
yeah,
conferences for every major, but for us on a journalistic perspective, literally at NABJ they have everybody in media. It's not just reporters and anchors. It's
well, hold on. Everybody who was black.
yes, black. Excuse me. Sorry
Yes.
about
All
that.
right. Didn't hear that. Yeah, not everybody. Well, we don't discriminate. Hold on. NBJ does
No,
not discriminate.
no.
I'm being your PR person. She's a
Thank
student
you.
representative. And NBJ does not discriminate
Thank you.
for anybody, okay? But everybody who is black, majority of the people, 99.99% of the people who are there are black. Because it's
Yes,
called the National Association of Black Journalists. Okay, continue.
because
So I'm
they
doing PR for you because you're a politician now too. So
no, thank you, Shamai, for
yeah,
pointing that out. Yeah,
yeah,
everyone black in media, and when as I'm trying to tell people here, it's not just people in news. It's literally like I said, the deans of all of these journalism schools. It's the photographers, videographers, the PR people, the people who do makeup for the. I mean, just anything in media, even actors and actresses. They do film
yeah.
screening.
Beyonce's mom was there a few years ago. Was it last year? Yeah, Tina Knowles was there last year. Yeah.
So it's just like places like that, you should be smiling and talking to
That's
everybody.
why you gotta make sure you sharp. It's a
Yes,
fashion show. That's a
it
story too.
is.
The fashion of NABJ. That's definitely a story.
Yes.
Yeah,
And this year I have to step up my game.
yeah. Hopefully you could get your paycheck first.
Man, if my university would just, get on their Zoom and,
Yeah.
please, like that's a whole nother, show talking about some of the harsh realities of being at HBCU. That's
Yeah.
one.
Shoot, Laura needs to hurry up, get her money so she could go to the club. Make it rain.
Come on, you're done.
Laura makes it rain. She doesn't make it sprinkle. She makes it rain.
No,
Yes, she do.
no,
She do.
no,
Laura be like, Rex.
no, absolutely not. Shamai, this is defamation of character.
No,
I didn't
this
hear
is
anything.
factual. This is not allegedly, people. Lauren really likes to go. Norfolk is that's really the joint.
What?
Makes it drink, makes it rain. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. I'm sorry. I'm just playing.
You need to come to Norfolk because it's really not that jumping.
Oh, oh, okay. Never mind. I take it back.
But yeah, we digress. The moral of the story is you have to talk to people. Like my university, I think this was 2 years ago now. We went to CBS in DC,
Mm.
and
World headquarters.
yeah,
Yeah.
we went to the headquarters, and we were on a round table in the room with executives for basically all day. And one tip I would give anybody, if you're in the room with any sort of executives or people who could literally change your life, sell yourself. Literally sell yourself and put your
Whoa, whoa,
mouth
pause.
back.
Pause.
Why?
Pause.
Okay,
Don't come, people kill.
okay,
Don't.
okay, okay.
I didn't hear that. That's whoa.
Let me rephrase
Whoa.
that. Use your elevator pitch, put your best foot forward, and open up your mouth to speak. Okay?
Good.
Um, ask questions during the sessions. Make it known. Like, introduce yourself. One issue that I noticed, because this was like my going into almost my sophomore year when we went, I was in a room full of seniors, and there were several students graduating, walking in May, and didn't ask one question, didn't never, stood up and introduced themselves for real. Um, in places like this, it's your prime time opportunity. And what a lot of people don't understand, my dad talks about it all the time. Like you said, Shema, you're only in college for a few years. And when you're given the prime time opportunity to sit in front of executives and whatnot, you have to take advantage because after I graduate, I'm not guaranteed to have a meeting with the CEO of XYZ.
Nope.
Whereas when you're in college and you have opportunities like this, these people make time to see you and talk to you one on one. And you could honestly make a connection that could advance your career by 10 or 15 years, which may have taken someone else longer to build up just because you have the connection. Um, Taking free trips. I know my career services department offers this as well. Different trips. But even like I'm in the politics, but I'm not like trying to be a politician. Every year, at least for Norfolk State, we have a day on the Hill, which is where we can go to Richmond and speak to our legislators and advocate for money and things like that. I've been, I believe, every year since I've been at Norfolk State, and it's another professional opportunity where I can say on LinkedIn I was here, or I can talk to different senators and what's not. And this year, a senator actually remembered me. He was like, "I'm glad to see you again." And it felt so good because I was like, oh, I must have made an impression with what I've said or what I've asked about. And so there's so many opportunities to even go on day trips, and you can miss class, which is great. And
Well,
sometimes
hopefully they don't cancel your ride and your
Shemai. Shemai
It's like,
talked about how um, my university took the bus away that my organization was supposed to use to get to the NABJ regional. And that's the sad part. A lot of athletes get to travel. Um, Athletes, SGA, Royal Court, whatnot, sometimes they do get priority. And so a lot of people join those organizations or even play a sport or be a team manager just to travel, which is great. But at the same time, you should definitely be investing in professional opportunities. Like that CBS trip Shemai was on Valentine's Day. And a lot
oh,
and a lot of people didn't go just because it's Valentine's Day.
mm,
Rather, go on a date or whatnot, which is fine, but you also,
priorities.
yeah, priorities. And you can also,
The man and woman is going to always be there. It's just one day. People, this is the bigger picture.
and you can't always,
Probably doing something that you're not supposed to be doing anyways on that day. But we digress. Just how you do it.
that is so true though, but
Yeah.
a lot of people think opportunities are going to come around again.
Nope.
And since that trip, we have not been back. And it's just due to other factors, you got to schedule it and it's a lot. So when once in a lifetime type of opportunities come around, you need to take them.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people go ahead, Shemai.
No, no, go ahead. I was just
Oh,
a little bit. Sorry.
um, a lot of people say like you only live once when it comes to parties, going to clubs, and doing a lot of crazy, wild things.
Oof.
But you gotta keep that same mindset professionally as well, especially when you have free opportunities. Because anybody who's walking around with their degree right now can't hop on the same bus that I'm hopping on to go to this conference or to go here or there.
Yeah.
So I like stressing that. Like just go. Just go.
Let's go.
You'd be so surprised, Shemai, at least here, how many people don't go to things over stupid stuff like that. Oh, it's Valentine's Day. I'm not gonna go. Like,
I was say this is a PG show, so I was about to say something out of pocket, and I'm not going to. I was going to say something out of pocket. This is for this is. Did you hear that after dark? If I was going to say what I want to say, but we digress. But no, people, especially in our generation, our priorities are not in check. Some people's priorities are not in check. So stuff like that, and I totally concur about like free opportunities. When you talk about when you went to CBS, when we went to CNN, when I'm talking about my the workshop that I was a part of, the NYU, it was at the time, now it's called the Ed Bradley fellowship program, but at the time it's called the NYU Black male workshop program. We got the chance to meet the CEO of CNN, Mark Thomas. So like it's not every day that people of that caliber of our
yeah,
caliber can meet CEOs of these major companies. And me, I asked him a question. And it was a time when Don Lemon got fired. I was like, so why did you fire Don Lemon? And he was like, well, his contract didn't go, but he respected that. He answered the question. Like, it's not every day you're going to meet a CEO of this company. So stuff like that, you understand. You got to be ready, so you won't have to get ready. That's
yeah,
what I have to say. Like, you got to be on your stuff. So once you get into these rooms, because people forget, when in corporate America, in any industry, you're going to be the minority. When you're
yeah,
people that look like you and me and Lauren, right? You're going to be the minority. So you have to be on your stuff. You have to know your stuff, because if Johnny or Tommy, might
mm,
mess up, they might brush it under the rug. But when you mess up, it's the end of the world,
yeah,
right? And your job is on the line. So that's why I feel like now I understand why people like Anzio is hard on us, or
mhm,
like people in the industry, because they know how the industry is. And going to that conference that I went to in New York, they were like, you have to be prepared, or you will sink. You will sink. So I was like, stuff like that, you got to be on your stuff. So I understand like that, like priorities. Your
right.
priorities have to be in line. It's not something you can wear on your shirt. It's not a sign that you can just wear on your shirt or a hat, because at the end of the day, you have to be prepared. You signed up to do this. People are not forcing you to do a job or going to a career that you want to. You have to be prepared.
Yeah, definitely. And a conversation I've had with a few of my friends I'm close with who graduated already is just about growth. And whoever's listening, I just feel the need to say this that you have to be open to constructive criticism from
Mm.
mentors or when you do, like you said, Shemai, when we went to the short course,
Or
um,
even your peers.
yeah, even your peers, yeah.
Even your, I love when my peers, critique me
Mhm.
because you guys are, it's better to hear it from someone that is your age because it's a sense of okay,
Yeah.
maybe I am doing something right. It's not like someone who's older than me. It's like not like a dictator type thing. It's like maybe they're doing it out of careness, out of likeliness. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? So that's why I like when you know the work, the network that we have amongst our peers. That's why I love that. Okay,
Yeah.
but I didn't mean to cut you off. Continue.
No, you're good. Because like you've actually helped me ever since you called out, how I have that tone in my voice when introducing myself on camera. I am now very much more aware of that every single time, which I thank you for.
Oh,
But there's a lot of people that I know, and Shemai, we talked about this, that think they've arrived. And some
yeah.
people
I've
who
been that person though. I understand. I've been that person. And you will fall. You
yeah,
will fall. Don't get in. Life will humble you real quick. When you think you have arrived, you think you're the biggest person, and people forget, and that's how I learned. Actually, the short course kind of humbled me a little bit. Because like when you are the big man on campus, people forget it's a world outside of your campus.
yes.
So
Yeah.
that's why, like, okay, that was like a reality check, a humble check there, stuff like that. So those experiences are important because maybe they can humble you, or
Yeah.
they can show you that you think you're all that in a bag of chips, but you got way more. I always think though, there's always work to be done.
Yeah.
I had the saying, the action never stops. There's nothing. There's always work to be done. I don't care if it's you need to read more, you need to write more, research more. There's always much work to be done. That's how I live my career and live my life.
Yeah, I agree. There's always room to grow, and Shema, you made a really good point. If you don't ever take the opportunity to go anywhere else or experience anything else outside of your school, you can get caught up in that mindset that I'm that girl or I'm that guy, and you may be on your campus, but there's other people that are at your same caliber or higher. And so there's always room to grow and you have to be open to constructive criticism, find the right peers that aren't jealous of you but are actually giving you actual feedback and also finding mentors.
Mm,
I know my campus has a lot of mentorship programs, but you can find your own mentors just through networking, finding someone that you really admire in whatever industry and forming a relationship with them and asking them to mentor you. um so yeah.
yeah. Well, that does it for our show today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you have any comments or other inquiries about the show, make sure you contact us comment down below and also email us at cookentertainment3@gmail.com. Follow A'Lauren on Instagram at A'Lauren Official. Follow me on Instagram at ShemaiCookTV. And we appreciate you guys so much for watching. This has been a great show, A'Lauren. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen.